Yo, what is going on YouTube? Today we're going to be going over the top 5 best class setups to be using in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. We just got a brand new weapon, the CX9, so it is no surprise that the CX9 is going to be on this list. As you guys can see, it's first up. How we're going to be doing the video today is we're going to show a couple of clips with the weapon, and then we'll show the class setup, and then we'll move right into the next weapon. That way we keep everything as quick and as informative as possible. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We're going to have 4 nukes and some absolutely insane SPR clips. I promise you, you guys are going to want to try this new SPR class. I almost dropped a nuke with it. I didn't even realize I was on a 20. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys do happen to find anything entertaining or informative today, please do make sure you guys absolutely smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, because we're always doing Call of Duty Modern Warfare content every single day. And come join my Discord, man. We got over 2,000 members. Hopping right into the CX9 class, we're going to be using the final barrel, the CX38. That thing, it gives you a suppressed barrel and it increases your damage range. Is definitely the best one to use. 5 MW laser for hip fire accuracy and sprint to fire speed. I really like using the GI mini reflex. I feel like it gives me a lot more range and control over my overall accuracy. The CX9 tac grip, basically stipple grip tape, aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. And then lastly, we got the 50 round mag. Some of you might have questions on why I'm using a 5 MW laser and not a tactical laser. If you have that question, I'll link a video that I actually made about this subject in the description down below. Up next, you guys can see we're using the M4A1. This is my favorite gun to use. Like, it's so reliable. The recoil is almost non-existent, especially if you have this exact build. It's very aggressive up close, and its time to kill is competitive with every gun in the game. This is without a doubt. Anytime I'm going for a nuke, and let's say I'm using like a submachine gun, like even the CX9. Say I'm using a CX9 or an MP5 or an Uzi, and then I want a long range weapon to complement that gun in order for me to get the nuke, I will normally 9 times out of 10 pick the M4A1. The biggest tip that I can give for people trying to get better with the M4A1 is do not use a variant on your M4. Even if you like bought tracers for it, I bought the pink tracers. All of those iron sights really suck. The default iron sight M4, the one that I'm using right now, is so crisp and clean and clear and so easy to use. When you use those other variants on the M4, it has like a big bulky square iron sight. It takes up a lot of your screen, and chances are that's what's holding you back from being a lot better with your M4. Here's the class setup that I recommend, guys. The monolithic suppressor. That increases your bullet velocity, damage range, and keeps us off the radar. Super important. The monolithic suppressor is a really great attachment. The Corvus Custom Marksman. Some people like to use the Grenadier, but honestly, it's just not needed for 6v6 multiplayer. If you hop into Warzone, I would definitely use the Grenadier, but as far as 6v6 goes, I would keep using the Corvus Custom. The 5MW and our stipple grip tape are stapled attachments. And then lastly, I use the 50 round mags. You could totally go with the 60 as well, but I feel like the 50 does more than enough, and I'm able to kill the entire team with 50 bullets anyway, so I like to be a little bit more mobile because I don't want to use that no stock on the M4. Up next, you guys can see we're using the SPR. Now, this class setup is a new class setup for me. I changed the magazine to the Norma mags instead of the Lapua mags because I just found out that the Norma mags actually has a much higher bullet velocity. This means your bullets hit faster, and it in turn actually gives the gun more damage range as well. So even though it doesn't increase damage like the Lapua mags, I haven't noticed any difference in me getting like more hit markers or getting less hit markers from switching from the Lapua mags to over to the normal mags. And as you guys can see right now, we end up going on a massive streak with this SPR. I think I end up getting like 20 kills in a row. I didn't even realize I was on a 20 until I'm like going over the footage now with you guys, doing the commentary later, of course. But yeah, this new SPR build that I have feels so much better than the last one that I had. I really feel my bullets hitting faster, especially at a farther range. When I was up close, like, you can't really notice the difference between the Lapua and the Norma mags, to be honest. But when you're at range and you want your sniper to still be a sniper, because obviously we want that, you'll notice a difference that the Norma mags are actually a little bit better. And as you guys can see, I'm not headshotting every single person, but I'm getting 0 hit markers. This is the class setup that you're definitely going to want to be running. Let's go ahead and hop over that right now. Up first, we got the ZLR ASP barrel. Very important that you use this, especially in 6v6. You do not need the other barrels that increase damage range. It is 100% not needed. If you guys watched any of those clips, I'm sure you can believe me. It gives you more movement speed and aim down sight speed. You don't want to use those other barrels. Either use the ASP or no barrel. That would be my best advice. We got the tactical laser for more aim down sight speed. Then we got like the basic sniper scope. You don't want to use the variable zoom scope because it takes longer to zoom in and it's completely unnecessary for any any 6v6 or 10v10 map, in my opinion. In Warzone, I would go with that one. But yeah, and then the stock. This is the most important attachment, guys. The XRK SP Light 208 Blitz. It gives you sprint to fire speed, aim down sight speed, and aim walking movement speed. So you strafe faster while you're zoomed in. That stock is super important. And then, like I was saying earlier, the Norma mags. It increases the bullet velocity a lot more than the Lapua mags. So if you're using the Lapua mags right now, you will notice your shots hit faster. And let's face it, when you're using a sniper rifle, you want those bullets to be instantaneous, especially if you're trying to quick scope. It's gonna make everything feel a lot more crisp and clean. Up next, this gun needs absolutely no introduction. We got the MP5, guys. I recently changed up my MP5 class a little bit, so I wanted to share it with you guys, make sure we're all on the exact same page. When I'm using my MP5 class to get a nuke, I actually use my M4 class that I showed you guys earlier. They coincide really, really well together when you're going for tactical nukes, especially if you're going for like your first tactical nuke. Using this MP5 with the M4 that I gave you earlier, it's such a powerful combination. The MP5 is just so dominant up close, and then the M4 handles those far away tricky shots that you wouldn't be able to hit with the MP5. So they kind of like balance each other out perfectly. Moving into this class setup, I recently changed from the Ranger foregrip to the Merc foregrip just because I found out that the Merc foregrip actually gives a lot more mobility. The Ranger foregrip has like no sway inside the iron sights when you're zoomed in, so if you don't like that heavy sway, then switch to the Ranger foregrip. But if you can handle that sway, definitely use the Merc foregrip, like I'm going to go over in this class setup. Up first, we got the monolithic integral suppressor. This is important because it increases that bullet velocity and keeps us off the radar. You don't want to use any of the other barrels because they all take away bullet velocity. That means your gun is going to take a lot longer to kill than it should, and we don't ever want that, especially for something that's supposed to be meant for up close and personal combat. Then we have the F-Tac collapsible stock. This is a really important attachment because everything you do, you're going to be doing it faster. You're going to be sliding around corners faster. You're going to be jumping around corners faster. You're going to be sprinting around the map faster. The F-Tac collapsible stock helps out a lot. Sleight of hand just to reload faster. That one's optional. If you feel like you don't need it, I would go with stippled grip tape or a 5MW. I use the 45 round mag because I like to have more ammunition. They both kill at pretty much the exact same time, so don't think that the 10mm round mag kills faster, because it's not the case. The 45 round mag actually kills faster up close, so they go back and forth. You go with whatever one you feel more comfortable with. And then, like I was saying earlier, the Merc foregrip actually has a little bit better mobility benefits, but if you don't like your iron sights swaying all over the place, then use the Ranger foregrip. That's totally a preference. Lastly, we have one of my favorite weapons in the game, completely slept on, completely underrated, the Ram 7. And I recently just changed this class, and since I've added on the barrel to my Ram 7, it kills so much faster. It literally melts. You guys are going to see I have a lot of examples inside these clips coming up before we get the nuke. This gun absolutely destroys everything. It kills way faster than the Uzi at all distances too. I compared it to the meta time to kill Uzi. The Ram 7 with this barrel on there is absolutely insane. You don't want to use the biggest barrel because it does give more bullet velocity compared to the second biggest barrel, but it has a lot of negative effects as far as mobility, hip fire spread, and aim walking steadiness goes. So we do want to make sure we're using the monolithic suppressor because that's going to increase our damage range, it's going to keep us off radar, and it's going to increase our bullet velocity by 15% as well. The Forged Tac Eclipse barrel, this is going to give us damage range and bullet velocity. It's really important that you don't use the Ranger. The Ranger is going to make your Ram 7 feel super clunky and awkward. If you're in Warzone, I would use the Ranger 100%, 10 out of 10 times, but in 6v6, just use the Eclipse. 5MW laser for hip fire accuracy and sprint to fire speed, stippled grip tape for aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed, and then lastly the 50 round mag. I've tried using the 30 round mag with sleight of hand, it just does not work out for me. If you feel like you need more recoil control, then I would just sub out that 50 round mag for a commando foregrip. Lastly, I'm just showing you our god tier class setups, the AS Val, the AMAX, and the Uzi. These guns are undoubtedly meta. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to smash that like. Devour out.
I think I changed brown, cause when the bitches hear this, they're gonna be like, wow. Smoking gas, living fast, wearing velvet.